Hi guys, Gijoe here, and welcome to Camp Toccoa, Georgia. We're about an hour and a half to 2 hours northeast of Atlanta, Georgia, and you've seen the Band of Brothers HBO miniseries, you know this site well. So here we are at the entrance, Camp Toccoa, where Dick Winters and other members of the 101st Airborne trained before they went overseas to England. Also, we have a little memorial plaque to Colonel Sink, Memorial Trail. So we're about to ascend Currahee Mountain, and we'll give you some video along the way. Alright guys, I've made it to the top of Currahee Mountain. Here on this rock I'm standing. A lot of visitors, as you can see, some paint. And it's very steep, so I'm going to try to be very careful here. Here we are. Beautiful scenery. Beautiful scenery at the top of Currahee Mountain. I opted to drive up. The road is passable, as you saw probably on the video, with a car. I wouldn't recommend a low-lying car, maybe an SUV or a truck. But it's just a dirt road, not too bad. A few divots and stuff, holes. You have to drive slow, 5 to 10 miles per hour, but it is beautiful. Now, I'm not on the actual summit. The actual summit is about 50 yards or so higher than this, but it's just a bunch of radio towers and stuff. So there's the rock. So the summit's right there, but I went up there and there's nothing there. I thought maybe there'd be like a plaque or a monument, and can't see anything. It's just some radio towers and some cement buildings, a couple old cement buildings with some gates and fences around them so you can't get in them. But beautiful scenery. 3 miles up, 3 miles down. I did not eat army noodles and ketchup before I came up here. So beautiful. Mountains in the distance. See, it's a pretty steep drop off here. So hope you enjoy. Next, down the mountain, and gonna head to the museum. All right guys, Gijoe here. Welcome to Toccoa, Georgia, the train depot in Toccoa, which is now the Currahee Military Museum. This was the train depot that Dick Winters and other people of the 101st Airborne actually arrived at when they were coming into town to head to Camp Toccoa to train for World War II. So the museum, the entrance is there. We'll go in there in a second. And yeah, let's head to the front here, see what it looks like. Yep, this is where Dick Winters and Shifty Powers, Don Malarkey, this is where they all arrived at. Right here. Kind of humble. Kind of awe-inspiring to think what the men that arrived here did. So let's go inside and take a look. Alright, as you can see, we're about to walk in. We're open Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 5, Saturday 10 to 4. Well, welcome centers. The museum's open 10 till 4. Let's take a look. We're inside the train depot. Of course, kind of a little mini gift shop. I think there's another one on the other side.
years.
Currahee. Some books. Filthy 13th. Ed Shames' book. You've got that one. It's a great book if you haven't read that one. Ed Shames is briefly mentioned, I think, in the Bastogne episode of Band of Brothers, but I think he was originally in Company I when he jumped into Normandy, but he eventually was transferred to Easy Company. Cool pair of people hats. Okay, let's head on in. Here we are. Shoot. Now, when you originally walk into the museum, there is actually a little bit of a display, kind of the history of Toccoa, Georgia, but I didn't film that because I figured you'd probably be interested in the World War II stuff. Now, what I was just told when I checked in was that Saving Private Ryan, when they did their boot camp, they actually did it here at Camp Toccoa. So that's when they went through boot camp to kind of train the actors on what it was like to be in the military before they shot the movie. Beautiful picture of the Filthy 13. And they're Mohawks. Who is this here? Original letter. Look at that. Screaming Eagles. Imagine this would be Sync, maybe? I'm not sure. Continuing on, we see the different regiments that trained here. The 517th, 511th, which aren't as widely known, but of course the 501st PIR. The 506, made famous by HBO miniseries Band of Brothers. Old paratrooper training helmet. I guess they'd wear that when they were jumping out of planes for training. He actually piloted the plane of Colonel Sink into Normandy. Wow. Clear. Here's the actual original marker on the top of Currahee. Some of the guys training over there. So it looks like this is the layout of Camp Toccoa right here. This is the actual horse stable from Aldbourne, England, where I think it was either Able Company or Easy Company slept in before they jumped into D-Day. I think Dick Winters talks about sleeping in horse stables in Aldbourne before taking the jump. Oh, look at this. Carwood Lipton. And there it is right there, signing the poster. Floyd Talbot, I believe he was wounded in Currahee, if I'm not mistaken. And the stables when they were in England before they were brought here. This is actually a picture of Aldbourne, England. Amazing. Oh. Yeah, there you have Bill Garnier, Babe Heffron at the Colonel Robert St. Memorial Trail sign. Look at that. Who's this? Sobolewski? I've seen him on the documentary, I can't remember. Oh, here's Buck Compton, I believe. I think that's Buck Compton. Get that clear out of there. Buck Compton, I'm thinking, and Don Malarkey. If I'm not mistaken. I know that's Malarkey. Wow. Pictures of Normandy survivors. Colonel Sink's medals. I'm thinking these might be the original ones, which is pretty impressive. Because this wall of medals seems to be pictures, as you can tell, but not the actual medals that have been like scanned or such. So, of course, the wall is full of medals from different guys. This guy, Marsh of Easy Company. Paul Rogers. Wow. Picture of Dick Winters. And of course, copies of his medals. If you come along with me on my trip to Normandy in June of 18, we'll actually go to the Leadership Memorial Monument on D913 on Causeway 1, headed to Utah Beach. That memorial was fashioned after the likeness of Dick Winters. We'll see that when we go there. Okay, here we have some memorabilia that apparently was owned by Joseph Burrell. I guess this was donated by his family. He was in Company G of the 506th. And he actually landed in a town called St. Colombe de Mont, which was just northwest of Currahee. And there's actually a plaque on the side of the church there. He landed right by the side of the church. And when I go there in June of 18, I'll show you that spot where he landed. Apparently this is the part of the parachute that he cut off to make a scarf with. after he landed. Look at this. This is his kind of meal kit where he engraved Normandy in it. And then, how about this? The helmet he landed in Normandy with. See, this kind of brings things full circle for me, because I know where this spot is. I know where he landed, and I'll take you there here in June 2018. But I do know that he was captured in the early morning hours of June 6th outside of Saint-Côme-de-Mont. And he escaped, actually. And he was then captured again. And I think kept as a prisoner somewhere around Dead Man's Corner, just west of Currahee, which is now a museum. And I think they have like the DDay Experience Museum there, which we'll be visiting that as well. So you'll definitely want to stay tuned. Of course, a picture of Don Malarkey. I don't know if you can see that. I don't want to touch it. Autograph. And I think, what helmet is this? Yeah. Wow. J.B. Stokes. He does a little bit of a, I think he's from Bonham, Texas. I believe he's the one in the Band of Brothers that says, "I'm glad I'm not in Bastogne. It was so cold. On a cold winter's night, I'm glad I'm not in Bastogne." He told his wife. Amazing. Alright, this little exhibit is for a man named Reid Pelphrey, who's in the 502nd PIR. And what I was told by the lady at the beginning of this tour is that this gentleman actually, up until 3 years ago, lived here in Toccoa and would come up here on a daily basis and give free tours through this museum. And this is his helmet right here, donated by the family. And that kind of bums me out, because I've lived here in Atlanta for several years now, and pains me to think that if I'd have come here 3 years sooner, that I may have been able to meet the gentleman and received a tour from him. This is him now. Well, this is Reid Pelphrey back in the 40s. Yeah, passed away in January of 13. This is him before he passed away, I guess. Wow. Should have gotten here sooner. Now there's Dead Man's Corner, which I spoke about, which is outside of Currahee, and there's a museum in there, and there's a DDay Experience. That building behind here is a DDay Experience Museum, where you can see what it's like to fly in a C47, which we'll take you there in June. Virtual tour, at least. Now I'm told that this last room is more actually like it was, yeah, when the 101st stayed in it. So you see what the bunks look like. Wow. Of course, I guess if sure beat sleeping in a foxhole in Bastogne, but when they stayed here, they hadn't experienced that yet. So this might have been the roughest thing they had experienced. A little stove, keep warm and to cook. Pretty amazing. And here's some letters, actual letters that were sent. Hello, dear son. MacArthur, I'm not sure who that's from. Pretty amazing. Yeah, I think this was the last part. Look at this. That's the flag. Oh, this is cool. See what the inside of a C47 kind of look like, how they jumped out the back. Invasion stripes painted. Look at this. I know that Dick Winters has some of his uniforms and such there in the Dead Man's Corner Museum in Currahee, and we'll take you into there. So amazing. I think this is the end of the D-Day part, or at least the World War II. And from what I'm told, the next section is a museum that talks about Toccoa from the Revolutionary War all the way through different parts of the history of Toccoa. Let's take a look at this Jeep here. Look at that. That's pretty awesome. And there'll be a gift shop on the other side. So it costs $10 to get in. People are very nice and very friendly. Very willing to share information. So I hope you guys enjoy.